Some normal day, I told myself, getting beat up by a million fists, while my body fell to the school floor. The blood dripped from my mouth onto the floor where I laid. Why? Why is this happening? I asked myself. The memories started to appear, even though I screamed and told them to stop. Everything started with a girl named Neko. She was small, still small. Everyone in 10th grade was taller than her. She had brown eyes, skin that looked like chocolate milk, and freckles that looked like dark chocolate pieces. One side of her face was covered with long brown and blonde hair, and the other side was shaved off. I was a fool. But still, I fell so hard when I saw her. My eyes were always on her, ever since we started school together. What I didn't know is that she had her eyes on me as well, ready to rip apart my humanity. Why Neko? We had one class together, math. I personally hated math, even though I had the highest grade in the class. Our math teacher would always put us in groups of 2 or 3, but not even once had I been in a group with her, because she was always hanging out with one group. A boy who looked like he came out of an anime, like Naruto, and the girl that looked like she came out of Mean Girls. Tell you the truth, I'd never talked to them either. But still, there was that one odd day where Neko sat right next to me without a warning and said, "Hello, mind if I get a name?" I looked at her, then looked back at the ground. "My name is Queso. And you?" She started to talk in her sweet tone of voice. So sweet it can make babies stop crying. "My name is Neko, but everyone calls me Sunny." Before we knew it, the bell had rung and class started. We both looked at each other, knowing we didn't want to leave, but we had to. "Hey, why don't we hang out? You can meet some of my friends after school," she said. I shook my head, saying yes, as my hair moves out of place. She got up and walked away, all the way in the back of the classroom, where she sat on an old desk. My memory ends there. Why? Why her? What did she ever do wrong? Or what did I ever do wrong? I asked myself. I slowly picked myself off the floor and limped to the bathroom and looked in the mirror. Ugly, sick little duckling, stupid, loser, freak, and emo all screamed in my head. I screamed for them to stop, but they just kept going, not stopping, until I asked, "What can I do?" All at once, in different tones, they said, "You know what to do, Keisiko." Yes, I know what to do, I told myself. I cleaned myself up and put my hands in my pocket where I had the knife and told myself I'm ready. The broken. It was silent and no person in sight. I've already walked through the hallway so many times. Where is she? All of a sudden, there was a sound like a person walking, coming from the other side of the hallway. So I hid in the shadows, while the footsteps grew closer and closer. I peeked over the side to see who is walking, and it was her, the woman I hated for so long, the monster who brought me pain. She came closer and closer. My memory started to come back, so I begged, this time, to stop them. But they came anyways, with total darkness. Neko said, "Hey, wake up, you piece of trash. We're not done with you." I picked myself off the floor, and Neko punched me so hard I fell back and hit the wall. "So weak. Funny, thinking I'd ever hang out with you," said Neko. I tried to get up again, as I was met with a kick to the belly and puked up everything that I had before. Neko laughed as she got out her phone. "Oh man, I gotta take a picture of this." I started to get up again as I tell her, "No, please stop." The memory stopped there. All I know is that since then, the endless picking on, people continuing, drove me insane. She came closer and closer, while my mind started to race. Closer and closer, I told myself. Closer and closer. Over and over until our eyes finally met. I grabbed her tightly and put my hand over her mouth, so tightly she couldn't breathe and passed out. I told myself, I finally got the woman who broke me, and now it's time to follow through with my plans. There's no going back. Finally, I have mine. I picked her body up as I started my way to an empty classroom. I tied her up so tight, the rope made her flesh rip and bleed out down her arms and legs. She woke up screaming, "Please, someone help me." And I looked at her with a smile, ear to ear. I took out my pocket knife and traced along her arm. The blood ran down from her arm. I slowly pushed my finger against her cut and lifted up the skin. "Please stop, it hurts," she cried. I removed my finger from her cut and started to stab her arm repeatedly. After a while, or hard work, both of her arms were removed, and she bled out. The girl screamed in pain as I watched her bleed out. I guess you could say someone heard her screaming and found me covered in her blood. Any other questions, Copper? I said. No, I think we have enough evidence here. Send him back to the jail cell. I got up as the copper gave me a struck look and asked, "Do you have any regrets?" I looked back at him with a wide smile. I do not. Not at all. And to tell you the truth, I still don't. Even if I have to be in a jail cell for the rest of my life, I'm finally happy.